Hello, everybody.
What's going on?
I'm Steph,
I'm also Steph.
and welcome to the Drop Everything Now podcast.
Episode
Yeah,
41.
41.
Yep. I
Wow,
looked before to make sure we didn't
incredible.
stall.
Wow. Today is
St. Patrick's
the
Day.
collab episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
St. Patrick's Day.
It is St. Patrick's Day. Luck of the Irish. It is. Oh shoot, I should have worn green.
I was, that's why I wore
Yeah, I
green.
should have. I
But
don't
you're
know. I didn't
wearing
think of
Swift
that.
merch.
I know I try to like wear Swift merch as much as possible, and I was like, I don't know if I've ever worn this, and they
I
canceled
don't think
school
so.
today, so I've been in like I'm in sweatpants and like my
Love it.
PJ sleep shirt. So I thought I didn't even think about it. But you know what? My seltzer water's green, and
Love it.
my I spilt it, and my nails are like turquoisey green for that.
Love. Yeah, I'm just wearing a green shirt. Happy St. Patrick's Day,
Happy
everybody.
St. Patrick's
And welcome to the collab
the collab.
episode.
We're gonna go
Um,
through Taylor Swift's non collab one better.
Collaboration.
We're gonna go through Taylor Swift's collaborations that are not on her albums,
Yes.
right? For the most part. I mean,
Yes.
maybe
And like for the most part, it's like songs she's featured on, like
yes,
other
or has a
people's
hand
songs.
in other people's
Right.
songs that she's had a hand in or been a part of.
Right.
And I guess like, yeah, um, yeah. I was gonna say something, but I'll save it for later.
Okay. Um,
It's not exciting. I just don't feel
oh,
like saying it right now. But
any
before,
anywho, should we talk about the iHeart thing?
oh yeah, I mean, I guess those awards are tonight. Just in any like recent events, there hasn't been any. Taylor's been
No, she's been
on
well
vacation,
hidden,
I
thank
think
goodness. Good for her.
barely spotted once, which is
Love it for
great.
her.
Anyone that's like complaining is weird. Like, I think most people are joking. Like, oh, this
Yeah.
is the longest she's not posted
Yes, I saw
since
that one.
Reputation. It's like, oh my God, who cares? Like, who even
But
pays
also, like,
attention?
it is just interesting too, because I mean, yeah, I guess I love when she posts on Instagram, but like, she doesn't really post that personal
Right, it's
stuff on
not personal
Instagram. So I'm
stuff.
like,
Like,
oh, we didn't get like another tour stop
right,
Instagram post. Like, that's
right. Yeah, I
okay.
don't care either. I didn't notice either way.
No,
That's not, yeah, like I think most of that, people saying that, it's like
joking.
jokey, so that's
Yeah.
fine. But like there are some people obviously serious about it. And I think that's just a different level of Taylor Swift fans that I don't, or
And
like
I'll never
Swifties that I
achieve it.
don't associate with. Like that's like
Yeah.
kind of the crazy, the people that are
Yeah.
like have an opinion on every
Everything.
single thing that she does in her personal life. And it's like, hey, we're here for her music. Who
Yeah,
cares?
exactly. Um, no, for sure. Because the only time I really only see it, it's like a lot of joking from like elder Swifties that are like, you
Yeah,
clearly were not here for the
right,
blackout.
right. Yeah,
And so, we're fine.
right.
Everybody's fine.
Everyone's
Well,
okay. And I think for tonight she's confirmed appearing or people are just
I,
really
so
convinced that she is.
it's so funny because people think I feel like 3 weeks ago, people were like, she's 100% going to be there. He's like, they're going to have their red carpet debut at iHeart because
Oh,
he's
I
up for some
hope.
podcast awards
And
and
the
feat the
best,
guest. Yeah, the
yeah, best
best
guest
guest on a
appearance or
tour.
whatever.
Yeah, right. So I feel like a few weeks ago, people were so high on it. They were like, there's going to be an announcement, blah, 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 blah. And then like a couple weeks ago, something came out that like she's going to show a performance from the first night of the Eras
Oh
tour
yes,
that
I
was
did
never
see
seen
that.
before. So people were like, what could it be besides either Tim McGraw or Mirrorball? Because those were the
Right, from
surprise
the very
songs and we've
first
seen
night.
everything
Yeah.
else. Um, so then people were like, well, if she's sending a performance in, does that mean she's not going to be there? Because
Oh, not a
like,
live performance. Okay, like a video.
no, it's a video. It's not a live performance.
Interesting. And
Um,
she did last year. She went and that's where she won like the something and she
I don't think
talked.
she wore the hood.
No, that was 2 years ago. Was it? But
I don't think she went last year. Was she on tour?
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe,
because she did
where
one of
did
those
she
classic in
go?
the bodysuit, like thank you things,
Yeah, but
right?
where was it that she went where she thanked Travis for the Fortnite music video? Where?
VMAs.
Oh,
Steph,
okay.
that was
I
like
thought that was this.
that
Okay, so
was like
yeah, because I was like, that doesn't make
a few
sense
months
because
ago.
Torture Poets was not even
Yeah,
out
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
okay,
I don't think
maybe
she was there last year. Um,
that makes sense. Yeah, I do remember her being in like the cleaning. Everyone's like, oh, she's in the cleaning cart
she
for
like
the.
yeah, like for that span of time, she was just always in the Eras Tour outfit for like accepting awards. Now, like some people are, I don't know. Okay, so she's up for 10 awards. And some people think, I guess I don't know if she's I saw something that's like she's getting a big award for like tour of the century or something, but I don't see that in her
So
list of
that's maybe why
nominations.
she'd
Maybe
be
it's
there.
just her getting awarded that.
Listen, I just hope her if she goes like it's her and Travis go like they're both off season. He's nominated. Like show up and show out.
No, I'd love
That's what
that.
I hope. That's all
I
I can
feel
hope
like
for.
it's leaning towards it's not happening based on, well, who knows? Honestly, who
I
knows?
mean,
They've been quiet,
what
but
time does it
whatever.
start? Soon?
I don't know. Oh my God, imagine if we get like a live.
Yeah, I was
Where
gonna
is
say like
iHeart?
I my phone is plugged in so I can't look it up, but like is it at is it in New York City?
Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Never mind then, because we will not be still recording by the time that starts.
That's true because it's earlier.
Um,
But yeah, so I hope they win if they're there and they win the thing like best surprise guest and they both go up and accept it
yeah,
together.
shut up. That'd be
I'll throw
so
up.
funny.
And I guess we'll
Um,
talk about it on our
yeah, well,
next
that's what I was gonna
month.
say. The biggest thing is, I guess, anything that happens at iHeart, we will talk about next episode if it's
Yes.
like major. Um, and I'll be curious to see what the hell this like performance she sent in
I
is,
know.
because then some people are like, oh, is it going to be Tim McGraw and she's going to announce debut, or like like, or maybe the documentary, because I guess it's been like 2 years of the Eras Tour officially. There's been a
Yes.
bunch of
They've been
stuff being
posting
promoted
Taylor
about it.
Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
they just like put like stuff on discount or whatever from the
right.
tour. So yeah, so it's been 2 years, which is also crazy.
So insane.
Um, that yeah, just how many things have changed since then. Um,
So
but yeah, I guess it'll be exciting to see. I First of all, your birthday's coming up. Well, not first
oh
of all, this second of all. Do you have any
yeah.
plans?
Um, Not really. Just going to dinner with some of the gals the
Oh,
Friday
that's
before my
fun.
birthday. My birthday's on Saturday this year. So then Saturday, I think just hanging with the hubs. And I told
Oh,
him we have to watch Cinderella Story for my birthday.
wow, it's so funny. I've been talking about that movie for the past like 2 days. It's come up in so many conversations.
I like, well, it's like one of my favorite movies of all time, and I haven't watched it in forever. And I always tell him, I'm like, we need to watch Cinderella Story. But like, whenever we go to pick a movie for like a Friday night, it's never like, oh, we should watch Cinderella Story. Like, it just doesn't
Right.
pop into my head as something. But I was like, no, for my birthday.
Yeah, you have to. I think also the reason I started talking about it last night was because I was with Ryan's mom and Ryan. We were talking about Freaky Friday 2 coming out, and then we started talking about John
Yeah.
Michael Murray, and then we're like, the classic. And then they were like quoting how he like runs out of the football game, and he's like, I'm not giving up my dream, Dad. I'm giving up
Up
yours."
yours. Yeah. No, Dad, giving up yours. And then,
Like
and of course,
classic.
the
The
waiting for
rain.
you is like
Oh
waiting for
yeah,
rain in this drought, useless and disappointing. Oh,
yeah. And then it rains.
I can't fucking wait. I can't
So
wait to
good.
watch it. I'm excited.
Oh,
Woo.
speaking of, I could have done this off the show, off this recording, but Ryan wanted me to ask if you, Connor, or you watched the season finale of Invincible.
I'm sure Connor did. I have not watched Invincible.
Okay,
I
Ryan,
watched the first season and it was way too gory.
it's really gory and it's animated.
Yeah, like I didn't think I'd be affected by it as much as I am. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure
same.
Con has. I don't know when it came
Okay,
out,
because Ryan
but
forced me to watch a scene. He's like, "This is how I think of you." It's like with this guy's girlfriend, and they're like killing each other, and he made me watch the whole thing. He's like, "I cried," and I'm like, "Oh my God." It's like, ask
no.
Connor if you watched it. I was like, "Okay."
When did it come out?
I don't know when
Like
these
when did
things
you
come
watch the
out.
scene?
I watched the scene last night, but I think Ryan probably watched it a few days ago or 2 days ago. So it must
Okay,
have
so
been
he
recent.
might honestly he might be watching it right now.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
let me
know.
know if he says that he cried. And Ryan was like, yeah, the scene, like the part with the girlfriend when she like almost dies. Ryan's like, just like they finally got together and then she's like dying. It's like, what would I do if ever something happened to you? I was like, well, I'm not a superhero. So I don't,
Yeah. I'm gonna go
and then
out
they
on a
like
limb and say
really
Connor
bash their face.
probably didn't cry at whatever scene it is, but I'll ask him.
Yeah. I don't know. But the
And I'll ask
girlfriend,
him
he made me
specifically
watch
if
the
he thinks
girlfriend's
of me
like
as a
guts come
superhero.
out and her face get all
Is it
mushed
the
up.
redhead?
I think she is redhead. Yeah. She was wearing like
Yeah,
a
the
pink
one that
outfit.
wears the pink. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Crazy
God.
stuff.
I'll see if he's watched it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no,
Um,
yeah, that show's too much for me. I'll watch like when he's watching it if I'm sitting there,
right.
but usually I just start making comments and I need to be like I need to leave because then he gets annoyed that I'm like that was stupid, like or I'm like
Funny.
ew.
Yeah, there
But
were definitely some cool scenes I saw, but not this scene. Like whatever, it doesn't even matter.
yeah,
Um. Anyway, should we move in
yeah,
to because I thought to lead us in to the collabs. I don't
okay.
know how. I don't know how we're gonna do it. Like oldest to newest. Should we do that or
I
newest to
feel like that
oldest?
works.
Because
I don't know.
like I feel whatever. But before we start, one thing that's not a collab, but I feel like it's like it just fits for the time period that we're in this month, as well as the topic of this episode. Did you see that Lady Gaga's new album? That there's the one song
Oh my
everybody's
God,
like
good call.
convinced.
Yeah,
What?
good call that you're calling this
Yes,
out.
because I was like, oh, it's not like it's not, but it is like timely, and everyone's been kind of talking about it. This, so I saw the song was called
How bad do you want me? Right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
I saw a couple weeks ago or a week ago, whenever it came out.
yeah.
People are
Last
like,
week.
"Oh, is Taylor Swift's background vocals on this?" And I like put it in my brain to listen to, and I forgot. But people were convinced. Now there are no credits, so I don't
I
really
don't
know.
think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I listened to it just today and just before.
Mhm.
I liked the song, but I don't know how you felt, but like I guess I was only half listening. But Taylor Swift's vocals didn't jump out at me the way that like why was everyone so convinced?
No, so I think people, I don't know if it leaked or something, but I think the discourse around it now is not so much that, oh, she's on vocals on it compared to how much it sounds like a Taylor Swift-esque song.
Okay.
So now that I don't see the background vocal discussion anymore. I more so see like oh, like you can tell like different pop stars that like some of the songs on Lady Gaga's album kind of like pull from. Like, because there's some that sound like very much like Michael Jackson, some that sound
Right.
like Madonna or just going
She
down the list. And it
right.
seems like, and everybody's like, oh, that is 1000% the Taylor Swift sounding
Inspired.
inspired song.
Right.
And
Oh,
she's
that's
been
cool.
reposting a lot of stuff on TikTok, like of people kind of saying that. Now, I don't know if it's just she's reposting anything that is mentioned about, the her album. Because it was a lot like right when it came out, she was just constantly reposting, and a ton
Yeah.
of it was about that song and like, oh my God, a Swiftie inspired like or Taylor Swift inspired song. And she would like repost things like that, which made everybody think, oh, for sure she drew from Taylor Swift or like that sound. But I also just don't know if she was just reposting everything that was related to
Right,
the
right,
album because
right.
she's trying to make it like
But if she does, obviously it's like they obviously have to be in good.
yeah, and I think they are, right? Because like she always plays
They always
applause.
have been.
Right, exactly. But it definitely was like so I listened to the whole album last weekend and that was by far my favorite song on the
Oh,
album.
really? I have to
Yeah, like
listen.
easily. Um and it definitely like I don't listen to a ton of Lady Gaga. Like I know her very popular songs, obviously, but some of them like obviously I was like, okay, yeah, like that does sound like a Lady Gaga song, and it
Right,
definitely
right.
did feel like that song sounded different. But and again, it was my favorite one that I listened to. But there was a couple I added to a playlist, but
That would be cool if they legit collabed. I could see it, but I mean,
great.
I mean, she
Ooh,
doesn't.
that's what
Taylor's. I
we'll
can't
also
actually
do
see
like
it. What?
our dream collabs.
Say that again. What?
We can also at the end we'll say like what's our dream
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually
collab.
don't think it. Like I could see it, but I actually don't think that would happen because Taylor Swift
No.
doesn't typically collaborate with like big time, like people that are kind of the same level. I feel like it's usually, uh, and that's nothing against people she has collabed with, but like just not as,
Yeah.
the pop stars. Like she's not, Selena's like her best friend, and
They've never
Selena's
done it.
in
Yeah.
the music world, used to be more in the music world. I know she's like about to release an album, but she
Yeah.
used to be like one of the most listened to, and like they never even collabed,
Right.
and they were best friends. She just never collabs with like the pop
Yeah.
girlies.
It's so interesting too, because I like, and we'll get into it, I guess, as we go through the list too. But it's so funny how like she like collaborates in like spurts. It's like
Right.
like okay, when she was getting hot, yep, we got a few collaborations, and then it kind of died down, and then it was like okay, red era, a few more collaborations,
Right.
and then like then there was like the I don't want to live forever, and then basically like nothing until very recently. So like that one also just kind of pops out at me as like a weird, because it seemed like she takes like breaks in doing it,
Yeah,
which
there's no like, but for a lot of this stuff, that she does, there's no like pattern. It's just like random. I guess
no,
it's just
right.
whenever she feels it.
Yeah, and like, and I do think now, obviously, because when we get into the list of like the later collabs she's done, they are very much like people that are closely associated with her.
Right. Or like, yes,
So it could
exactly.
just be like, she started out like whoever asked me, I'm in, I'm doing it. And then maybe like now she's more like, I will help my friends. Or
Right.
like if my friends ask
That's
me
what it
to, I'm
seems like.
definitely in.
Right.
Um,
That's what it seems like now.
yeah, I wonder, maybe we add this to the like, I wonder if she's ever turned any, like, how much do you think she turns down?
She has to turn
Has
down
to
a
turn down
lot.
a
Who
ton.
wouldn't? Who
Right.
Everybody would be
Like, it
asking
has
for
to
a
be
Taylor Swift
so
collab.
many. Yeah.
Yeah. But like legitimate ones, like which ones actually make it to her desk for her
Right.
to turn down?
Right.
I don't know. We could think about it
Yeah. Okay.
as we go through. So
Well,
do you think we should start back all the way back when? Yeah, because
I think
if
that
we
makes
get to
sense.
the end and we're like kind of over it.
Yeah, then we can just do our own discussion of
Yeah.
like things we just
Because the
talked about.
ones that are the most recent, like, whatever, but it's more fun to talk about like the really
Yeah,
old ones.
agreed. Okay.
Okay, so again, guys, we might talk about album collabs at the end, but these are just songs that Taylor Swift collaborated on. So it's another
Yes.
artist's song that
Right.
she is on,
Yeah.
basically, and either has a full verse or whatever, or is just at the very least background vocals.
Right. And we decided to do it well, we decided to focus on these ones because like we do talk about the ones that are on her albums,
Yeah,
obviously,
once we
whenever we
talk about
talk
the
about the
albums.
albums. And I feel like these ones are just like they always come into my head every now and then where I'm like, wow, I forgot that song
Yeah, we
exists.
forgot.
And we've never talked about them. So
We never talked about them, and so now we're gonna talk about them,
exactly.
and we're gonna try our best to like give our personal rankings. Now we've way back when, I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast, like kind of had sometimes you give like tiering systems. Like number one would be like God tier, and five would be like meh,
Yeah.
right? Did we say 1 to 5 ish? So
Hmm.
like we're gonna try to give it that kind of ranking because I don't know, I can't really like put them in an order
No,
beyond
I
that.
can't
So
either.
one would be like, yeah, no skip, love,
Right.
where five would be like, I could do without. I never really want to listen to this
Yeah.
kind of thing. And everything else falls in between there.
Hmm.
So the first one I have is one that you didn't have on your list
Right.
because and I had to double check too for this that Taylor Swift's actually on it and did not just write it.
Right.
But she is. Her background vocals are on Best Days of Your Life by Kelly Pickler, which came out in December of 2008. So it was
I love
co-written by Taylor. And if you guys want a little like, here's how it goes. 'Cause I'll be there in the back of your mind from the day we met till you making me cry.
just too bad You've already had the
The
best
best
day.
days, the best days of your life. I fucking
I
love that song, bitch.
love that
Sorry,
song.
I'm not a great singer, but yeah. So if you forgot what it sounded like, that's literally exactly what Kelly Pickler sounds like.
No, it's so close. I thought I had my phone on and the speaker
Yeah,
was
yeah,
playing. Um,
yeah,
yeah, so I didn't realize she was on it, like background vocals. I've always
yeah.
known she wrote it because
Hmm.
well, when I found out or remembered maybe that she had written it, I literally was just like, this makes so much sense
Makes so much
because I am
sense.
obsessed with this song. This is a breakup anthem.
Such a
Even
breakup
when
anthem.
it, like, obviously in December 2008, I had never gone through a breakup, but like, it
Okay,
still is the breakup anthem of
it's
like all
iconic.
time.
So this is like one of my favorite. Okay, I have to tell everybody something. Getting back to our like kind of embarrassing stories,
I love it.
that we used to do. First of all, I loved this song when I don't know, I did not know that Taylor Swift was on it for many, many years. I feel like I probably learned this within the last 5 years that she was
Agreed.
on it. I was like, oh shit. I was so obsessed with this song. I would sing it all the time. I also like loved Kelly Pickler, but because I loved this song, and then like
Yes. And then
I
you
would
go
like watch
listen to
her
the rest.
Ellen
Yeah.
interviews, and she was just so like silly and like dumb, you know? It was like in a nice way. Like she was playing into that role on her
Hmm.
interviews. So I freaking love this song. And my senior year of high school, so this is 2012. There was this guy, and like he wronged me, you know? He really wronged me. And we had like a really love hate, but really like a hate relationship.
Oh,
And he ditched me for prom. Like we were supposed to go to prom to like junior and senior year, and he ditched me for actually like one of my friends. And I literally like hated this man. Like I was kind of a psychopath. Like I made him like we had lunch together, and the second half of senior year, like he literally left school for lunch because he was like afraid to sit at our table. Because I would like threaten him. I was not a threatening person. I was just
amazing.
kind of like a little crazy. And anyway, prom weekend, I was so incredibly not sober, like as one is. We're down the Jersey Shore. I don't totally like remember this, but I do because we recorded everything. Like we had our digital cameras and we recorded absolutely everything. So we're in one of the hotel rooms at so we're talking seaside, guys, like the Jersey Shore at the Aztec Hotel. And if you ever watch the Jersey Shore, this is the hotel that like they went to. All this is like there's the Aztec bar, like they
Bar. Yeah.
t-shirt time, like they were there. We always stayed in that hotel. So we're there senior year in our hotel room. This song comes on, and I'm like take my camera and I start recording it, and I
That's
meet
really
like my
good.
friends, and I put on a full performance, and I'm like literally like double middle fingers up screaming to everybody. It was like looking back, it's so embarrassing, and like I think he was probably in the room, who knows, but like I always think every time I think of this song, I think of that embarrassing time of my
Oh,
life. But I still love the song. And I'm like, you've
no,
already had the best days of your life.
totally
And
agree.
I'm like disgusting, like, yeah, you'll never get me. And I'm like desperate, like
No,
totally would have been with him if he was like, I'm sorry. I would have been like, okay.
I'm
Just,
trying to remember who this is.
um, just think like Forest, like, like Katniss Everdeen, like
Yeah.
what she does, what she did. It's like a name, but also like an occupation. I mean, not an occupation. It could be like a hobby, going out and killing things in the woods.
I was like, Archer?
Close, close, close.
I got it. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I
Oh,
mean, I'm not.
yeah. I'm just remembering more more stories about.
Yeah, I was crazy with this person, and
God.
I don't have any bad blood with him anymore, but I don't really talk to him, but I
Yeah.
totally like would share this story, like, share
Yeah.
the story with him. Um, I mean, he would remember.
I'm sure I'm
Anyway,
sure he would. Yeah, no, this one I just remember loving this song, yeah, like all through high school basically, and legitimately pretending I had broken up with some or like someone
so
had
you
broken
could
up with
really be
me
mad.
so I could really get into this song whenever I'd listen to it. Still would
So
honestly
good.
pretend someone broke up with me to get into this
No,
song.
it's so good. I forget about it. And then like discovering that Taylor Swift had a hand in this and is on
No,
it,
it
it's
makes
like, oh my God.
makes perfect sense.
It's like I love Taylor Swift even when I don't know. I love Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
Similar to not knowing right away. Now, this one I learned like a long time ago, but still not right away. Probably not within the first 4, 5, 6 years of it being out. This doesn't count as a collab, but she wrote, You'll
You
always find
always
your way
find your
back
way back
home.
home. Yes.
Which like that makes sense. She was in the movie, like all that stuff, but
Mhm.
that's everybody's, including mine, like the best song from the movie. And it's like makes
So
so much sense that
good.
Taylor wrote it. So it's
Yeah.
like you love Taylor Swift even when you don't know that you love Taylor Swift, you
Which
know?
honestly is just like really like a good confirmation. So like, if people are like, "Oh, you don't even like that song. It's just Taylor Swift, so you
Right,
have to
right.
say you like it." It's like, "No, literally
No,
I'm finding her out in the wild and things she was a
literally.
part of and I still love that
I
shit."
saw it.
Ugh.
Hello. Yeah. So honestly, I have to give this my God tier number one, Best Days of Your Life, because it's just like it
Yeah.
was like my favorite song for like 3 years in high school. And I
No,
need
I
to
agree.
listen to
I
it more.
wish it was more like I
I
wish she
know.
was more in it and then I
Right.
like cuz for me I almost I count it, but I don't, I guess.
I know.
So
I
that's the
agree.
only reason why I wouldn't even put it, but like the song in general is God
As
tier.
this, I know that's where I'm looking at it, is like the song in general is a
Yeah.
God tier, but like I don't even see it as a Taylor Swift song.
No, right.
So like of the collabs, yeah, it's kind of harsh to put that. But that's why it's just my God tier. Just like the song itself. That's how much I love
Yeah.
the song. That's the way
Agree.
I'm looking at it. But I agree. It is like where's she on this?
Yeah. Right.
But apparently she is. I did a G search, Google
Hmm.
search.
Well, and it's good to talk about because, like you said, she did write it. So,
Right. And people forget that. And probably some, if we have younger fans, they probably don't even know the song. Like, look it up.
yeah.
It's
No, look it up. It'll change your
sickening.
life.
Like,
It'll
you
change your
have a
life.
boy that wronged you, like Archer wronged wronged me.
Hmm.
It'll get you going. You might do some embarrassing shit,
You
but
might.
it'll get you going.
You
It'll
just.
feel really good to sing. I'll tell you that
No, it
much.
feels
It'll
so
feel
good.
really good.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so
Check.
for her
Number two,
first, let's like her first real
real, where you can,
feature,
it's like
maybe we'll
legit, like
call a
get your own
like
verse.
feature. Yeah. Okay, so number two, I don't have the
Is
month, but 2009, right?
October. Yeah, it says on, I mean, this is ChatGPT with the
Yeah.
day, so who knows, but it says October 19th, 2009.
Okay. She was on Two is Better Than One
Yeah.
by Boys Like Girls.
Yeah, if you guys don't remember. I remember what you wore on the first date.
Take my life and
And
I thought, hey, let's go do something.
then it goes, maybe I
I
can't live
can't live
without
without
you.
you, baby.
Maybe two is better than one. There's so much time to figure out the
The
rest
rest
of
of
our lives,
my
and I've already hurt you. I'm in London. Maybe two is better than
one.
one.
I love that part when it goes really
Uh,
crazy. Um,
Damn. First of all, spot on with the times. Boys like
yes,
girls.
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I loved Boys Like Girls, so it makes it like I loved that she was on this. I remembered seeing that she was on it, and I was like, oh hell yeah! And then it was a great song.
It is a phenomenal song. Like, again, anyone that's not around in this era of life, or like you were alive, but maybe you were too young to know the pop punk takeover of
Right.
everything. Like
Everything. Yeah.
there's no, I mean, there was pop music, but like everybody was pop punk. Like
Yes.
we were all pop punk. Like Boys Like Girls, like this The Great Escape. Then
Mm.
there's like Check Yes Juliet, Are You With Me?
Right.
Um just
Yeah.
every
My
song like
Chemical
that.
Romance, Fallout Boy,
Yeah,
like all, yeah.
yeah, that was the rage of it. And I guess it's funny because also at the, not funny, but Taylor Swift at this point was not a pop girly anyway.
No.
Um, so this made a lot of sense. Like I feel like right now, if she did something like this, although I guess she did like Electric Touch, like brought that, but that was going back to this time period,
Right.
was what she said during Speak Now.
Yeah.
Although this is slightly prior to it, but that was that era that, you know, Paramore, Fall Out Boy,
Right.
all of those people or bands and groups, that's what kind of influenced Speak Now. So that's where some people say like with Haunted or whatever, or The Story of Us, you
Story of
get a
Us. Yeah.
little bit more of that pop punk vibe. So this fits whoosh, right in
For
with
sure.
that. Although this is a slower ballad. This is more, I feel like Boys Like Girls went, I mean, no, it's still their vibe, but like a little bit more like
Yeah.
lovey-dovey ballady than their normal.
Yeah. No, agreed. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just remember I loved this.
Absolutely obsessed with it. Again, something I actually
Always
listened to
on whatever
this one.
playlist I made on my iPad, like
Yep.
or iPod. This was iPad, that didn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always in the mix.
Always. Always, always, always. And just Boys Like Girls was one of my favorites at the time. I always get them confused though with like
Me too.
there's like two bands that I really, really get confused. There's a song called All Again for You, and I it might be Boys Like Girls. But that's one of my favorite songs of all time. So it's like at this time, like Taylor, I was becoming a Taylor Swift fan, right? This is right
Mhm.
around, I think it was 2008 probably. So like a year in, like pre Speak Now. This is like, I almost am, I would say more into like the Boys Like Girls than I am into the Taylor Swift at this point. Like, you know, it's like kind of combined.
Yep.
So it was just such a beautiful thing.
Agreed. We the Kings
Oh,
was
We the
all again for you.
Kings.
Yeah, I
Yes.
loved.
We the
That
Kings.
album was so good.
Obsessed. Obsessed.
No, but
Obsessed.
I totally agree. I feel like if we're talking again, I guess like you said, the genre, this was like the genre, at least for
Mhm.
people our age.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I feel like I knew more artists and bands and stuff in this genre than necessarily like I guess it's hard to say because Taylor Swift wasn't really big.
Right. She
Like,
just, it was
but
kind of,
yeah, like that
it
was
was
like
new. I
a
mean, it was. She had Fearless out and everything, but she
right.
wasn't like, I don't know who was bigger. I think that this was a collab that probably helped both of them out because
I
it
think so because I literally
introduced
just
new
went to
fans on
the
both ends.
right, and I was gonna say I just went to their Spotify page too, and literally like two is better than one is their second most streamed song besides The Great Escape.
But I do wonder if now it's their most streamed song, like after Taylor Swift flew up. At the time,
You're right, like for sure, like but they also just don't like so The Great Escape has like 100 million more streams than Two is better than
right.
one, and then but like Love Drunk was on the same album as Two is
When we
better than
left
one,
drunk, but
but that has
now I'm
less. But
over.
right, like was
Right.
it? Is it that
Like it's more of a recent thing. People
right, like it's
rediscover
in
anything
Taylor
Taylor
Swift
Swift is in.
playlists or something like that, so it gets played more. Yeah.
Right, right. But I would say that like this too for Taylor Swift's collabs is one of my top ones.
Yeah.
Like I would also put this in my um I think I would put it
Me
in
too.
terms of the collabs in my top tier.
No, I think I would too, but like also because I feel like, and we've kind of mentioned it before, but like as we go down this list, I've listened to the other ones less and less.
Yeah.
Like this one though, I
On
know I
repeat.
listen to it all the time. Like
Yeah.
I can't really say that for some of the more recent or like even middle of the list. I can't even say
Right.
I've listened to them as much, but yeah,
No,
no,
but
this is
it's a
definitely up
goodie.
there.
And if you want to feel like you're in that time period, like go
Yeah, for
listen to it.
sure.
If you don't know it, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Hmm.
So good. Sort of the opposite vibe of Best Days of Your Life.
True.
Because, you know, it's
True.
two is better than one.
I also do want to say too, because I just find it funny that the next three, because I remember a lot of her collabs, because when I try to play my quiz of name every Taylor Swift song, the collabs are in there. And I find it so funny that a lot of these collabs early on have to do with two, the number two.
Oh, yeah.
or a like it all
Yes,
like
I know
because
what you're
like
saying.
that's how I go through my list when I'm doing my quiz. I'm like, oh, where are my twos? I'm like, oh, yep, two is better
That's
than
funny.
one, both, the half, like I'm like, oh,
Yep,
yep,
yep.
here we go. um which is just a weird thing.
It's funny
Yeah.
that there is that thread.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next one
Yeah.
is 2010, and you forget
Which
about
is,
this one too, but I feel like people know probably talk about it more now. Half of My Heart, which is a John Mayer song,
yep,
and
yep.
now,
See, I
okay.
have that it came out in 2009.
Oh, I could be wrong. I mean, this is just like a
Yeah,
ChatGPT thing.
but
I
I
did
mean,
not
who knows?
cross-check the dates. Now, did they do this collab first and this and John Mayer like reached out and was like, I want to do a collab, and Taylor Swift couldn't turn it down? Sorry, Revis is whining.
So
There's
cute. I don't hear him.
oh,
I
okay.
just see him. Hey, buddy.
What?
Look at him. Look at him.
I know.
He doesn't like John Mayer.
He's like, stop talking about John Mayer, please.
We don't talk about him in this house.
All right, bye.
Um,
Yeah, so because I do remember the story of them like starting to date is like he kind of it's weird behavior. He kind of reached out to Taylor's
I don't hear him.
really?
No.
Birdcage.
Oh, I heard
Wait,
that, but
wait.
yeah.
Oh, now he's jumping.
Um,
Should I go see what he needs?
yeah, I was gonna say I can sing half of my heart while you do that.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe give him a treat or something.
For anybody that has not heard it, it kind of goes like, half of my heart's got the right mind to tell you that half of my heart won't do. Half of my heart is a shotgun wedding to a bride with a paper ring. Oh, that's weird. And half of my heart is the heart of a man who never truly loved anything. But there's a part in it that goes like, I can't keep loving you. I can't. Or is it can't stop? I think it's can't stop. I can't stop loving you. I can't stop loving you. Oh, with half of my heart. Bow, bow.
Oh,
I really like
with
that part. The half of my heart. The can't keep loving you. Did you know that I think there's a lyric in that song that is like, half of my heart is a shotgun wedding to a bride with a paper ring?
oh, I know. Yes and no. Now that you're saying it, I do remember people bringing that up.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say because I never really thought of that, but
Now, okay, so I don't know if we found, yeah, I don't know. I feel like what were they dating during this, or is this what led them to dating? That's my question.
in my head, I feel like it all like was at the same time,
Right.
like where maybe it was like they met and it's like, oh, we should do a collaboration or something, right? And then you just kind of kept talking,
Right.
and maybe this was like made. Well, obviously it was made while they were at least
It's
still
Google
had a.
says Taylor Swift and John Mayer were romantically involved after they collaborated on Mayer's song
That's what I was
"Half
gonna
of
say.
My Heart"
I'd
in
guess that they
2009,
collaborated, and that's like,
not during.
yeah, I would guess that it was like, oh, they got close
Yeah, so
doing
that's
it.
what I thought.
Yeah.
I remember reading that like he kind of asked her to collaborate, and then like she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's John Mayer," which of course, and then that's how their thing sparked, which is like it's still kind of crazy. Like, of course, Taylor Swift's gonna date John Mayer, but she's 19 and he's like 30. Like,
So
it's
insane.
fucking
32.
it's seriously he was 32.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
No, literally so insane.
It's
So
so
insane.
insane. I know that world is different, but it's uh,
No, like,
disgusting.
no.
That should
I'm
be
almost
illegal.
31 and like
Yeah,
25-year-olds annoy me.
right. No,
Like,
it's insane.
right. Like, I understand that in that like world, you're like, obviously, I don't think I even know a single person that's 19 besides like a family member or a,
Yeah.
like
No,
obviously in the real world, you don't really interact that much with people that are that far in your age gap. So I get that
yeah.
like that's different in like
It's
the
different
entertainment
because
industry, but it's still so strange.
yeah, it's so strange for him to be like okay with that. But that aside,
It's really cute song.
it's a cute
Yeah.
song. It's a good song. But I will say like even in my like Taylor Swift haze, like whatever, like I didn't really listen to it during in 2009, 2010. Um, and I feel like I try to listen to it more now than then when I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. Like I always knew they were on a collab, but I never was like obsessed with this song. And
Yeah.
maybe it just didn't cross my desk. It's not that I think that it's bad or that I wouldn't be obsessed with it. I just
Yeah.
like never was. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think I did listen to it quite a bit, but I think it was because like I was definitely up until Red, like once I discovered Taylor Swift during Fearless or like right after Fearless, whatever it was, and then up until Red, I was definitely in my consume everything possible I can of Taylor Swift content. So like anything that came out between I'd say between Fearless and Red, I listened to a lot, but it's just because it was like I put them on every playlist or like if I was listening to Taylor Swift, they'd come on because there wasn't
Right.
250 songs that it could pick otherwise. So I definitely listened to it a lot. I really did. I thought it was like such a cute song. And I do like I don't listen to John Mayer. Like I don't listen to new albums when he puts them out,
Right.
but like I do like there's some songs of John
Yeah,
Mayer
there's
that I
some
love.
right.
So
Daughters be good to your father. You know, that one.
mhm. But yeah, so I mean that it's like the middle tier. It's in the middle.
Agree. I was gonna say I don't want to give it a three, but not a two. So I probably would do like a 2.5, just because
Yeah.
I think if I did listen to it more or like knew it back then, it would have been higher.
Hmm.
And I like the vibe of the song, but I just yeah. So I'm more of a I agree like three, maybe a 2.5. I could
Yeah.
or it would be more of a 2.5 if I listened to it more.
Agreed.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I've never been into John Mayer, but I've never, yeah, I would never listen to his new stuff, but like, unless I like it went viral, like whatever. But yeah, of course, like there's John Mayer has some classic goodies.
He does. And I do like his song New Light. That's not an
I don't know
it's
what it
more
is.
recent, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
not like new. Um it's a good song though. Um okay, next we're jumping, right? Time jump?
I believe so to 2012.
Yeah. And we're continuing our twos
Correct.
with Both of Us by B.O.B.
It's like uh, I
I wish I could fall
it
enough to lift not
not
one,
one
but both of
both of us.
us. Someday. No, but yeah. Okay.
B.O.B. also at the time.
That's what I was literally going to say. This is another one that was just like very much B.O.B. was so hot in the streets.
Oh, Hot in the
Like it
Street.
was
Bruno
like,
Mars, right? And B.O.B. had, or was it that the airplanes? Was that? And on the
I
airplanes
think
and the
he's in that,
night
right?
sky
Yeah.
shooting star. I can really use a wish
Wish
right
right
now. I'm
now. Wish right.
gonna make sure.
No, I think you're right because I do. Oh God, I love that song.
Yeah, B.O.B. Yep.
Airplanes. Yep. Featuring
I
Haley
can make a dream or a
Williams.
genie or a wish to take me back to that place where we could reminisce. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's featuring Haley Williams, so that's a fun.
Wow, that is a fun. They both collabed with
Wow, I forgot how much
B.O.B.
I love this song.
Which one?
Airplanes.
Airplanes? I know.
Yeah, and there's
That
an
was,
Airplanes part two that I kind of remember now too.
yeah, and it wasn't as good.
No, but I still remember. I think I liked it.
Mm.
Wow. And he did also Nothing on You featuring Bruno Mars.
Yes, that's what I was saying, Bruno Mars. Yeah, nothing on you, babe. Nothing on you.
Oh my God.
Beautiful
Yeah,
girl.
so
Is that
see, this one's interesting because the
uh,
I'm looking at his thing, and
discography?
Airplanes is by far his most streamed song, but Both of Us is maybe the 10th.
Yeah, that makes
But it makes sense
actually I
because
don't
he was
know.
a little more popular, I guess, than Boys Like Girls. Because
Yeah.
like Airplanes
No,
has like
because that was the pop,
870 billion or a
right?
million
Because this is
streams.
now entering the radio territory, like
Right.
pop radio
Right.
getting played that way, where that's where you're getting, Airplane was quite literally everywhere.
Oh my
And
God.
Bruno Mars was also quite literally everywhere. So if
Everywhere.
you're gonna
Yeah.
stick Bruno Mars with B.O.B. at that time, like, and I mean everyone knows that song.
Instant.
Beautiful girls all over
Yeah.
the world. They got nothing on you,
No, nothing
baby.
on you, babe. No, nothing on you.
Yeah,
Um,
great song.
yeah, and this, like you said, this was also one that legitimately this was the
This
last one
was
I
the
think that I listened to it a lot.
this was the vibe. Like
Yeah,
this was the vibe of the time. Like this was just it. Like I actually miss those times like
me too.
where you had a really nice sing-songy chorus and then a little bit of like the
Rapping.
rap pop like
Me
the poppy
too.
rap where everybody could get down with it and everybody could sing it and it was so
Yes, I
good.
totally
Like
agree.
that was just the vibe of the time.
I
Like the
miss it
Bruno
too.
Mars, the Airplanes, even other like
It,
Baby, are you down, down,
oh,
down,
yep.
down,
And
down,
then the other one I'm thinking
down.
of, the Eminem and Rihanna one. Just
Monster?
gonna stand there and
There and
watch. Love the way you lie.
there. Yeah, they have a part two of that song too.
That's what made me think of it too. But I
I miss
just
those
me
days.
too because I loved that.
Yeah, I loved that.
I
And
loved
it
being able
makes
to
like feel
rap and
cool. It's
stuff
like
or
I
like
could sing the whole
feeling.
rap part.
Yeah, me too. I'd be like, watch this.
Watch me rap.
No, I loved that. I definitely liked Airplanes more than Both of Us. Like when I think about B.O.B., but I
Totally.
did listen to this song
But I love
like
this
a
song.
lot. Yeah.
I would give this for me like for a different reason, like a 2.5 also. I
Yeah, I
listen
was
to it
gonna say
way
I think
more.
it's probably in the same tier as the Half of My
Yeah.
Heart for me.
Now, I would say like I listen to this song way more and this song in reminiscing like so many more memories than Half of My Heart, but I only put Half of My Heart at the same because I think if I like I said before, if I did listen to it, I would still think I would like the song more now where
Yeah.
B.O.B. is so time I mean, Both of Us is so timely, but I still like love it, but like
Yeah. For the nostalgia.
but both of us. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Um,
The next one, I believe is again, I don't know if the date is
2013?
correct, but 2013.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
Highway Don't Care.
Highway Don't Care.
Isn't this like everybody is on it? Like
I think
what
it's like Tim
artist? It's
McGraw,
Tim
maybe
McGraw's
Keith
song.
Urban too.
Yeah, like let me see. Ooh, because this only is saying Tim McGraw, but I just remember there being a lot of people on it.
I think Keith Urban's on
Highway.
it too. Um, what I find interesting about this one is like every
Yeah,
time I
Keith
think of
Urban's on guitar. Sorry.
okay, that's what I was gonna say. I thought Keith Urban was on there, but yeah. When I think of this song, Highway Don't Care, I think of it. I always think it came out earlier. Like I always think she must have done this during Fearless or Speak Now. It
Oh,
shocks me every time that
because
it
of the
came out
vibe.
after Red because I feel like by then she was fully like moving into pop, like I feel like
Right.
she had like fully decided I'm going. And so
I
it always shocks me the year it came out.
yes,
But
the
I do get
vibe
it because
is
it's like obviously Tim McGraw, she has a song called Tim McGraw. If Tim McGraw probably asks you to be on something,
yeah, you're not saying
you're
no.
saying yes because obviously you could argue Tim McGraw was her first super famous song. So I get
Right.
it, but it always shocks me that it didn't come out in 2009 or 2010.
Right, because this is post Red pre 1989,
Mhm.
right? So it's
Yeah.
like I do remember it being sooner because of that because I'm like, whoa, like oh we're back. Oh, okay, maybe we're gonna be back to that. Like I just
Yeah.
remember being like, oh, we're back to those vibes sort of thing. Um oh, and this song is like
I was literally just gonna say. I
I
actually
can live without you. I
I
can
can't
live
live
without
without
you,
you,
baby.
baby. I don't know how any of the rest of it goes.
It's
I
I
can't
can't
remember
live
it.
without you. Highway don't know you're alive.
I
I can't live without you, baby, baby. Highway don't know you're alive. Highway.
don't need to survive.
Highway.
I'm gonna look it up the lyrics real quick
I
because
know it because I've listened to this song a lot. I can't live without you.
I bet your windows roll down and your hair's
It's
pulled
pulled
back.
back. Bitch, you got no idea that you're going too fast.
Fast. You're trying not to think
Not to think.
about what went wrong. You're trying not to stop. I don't know if I'm doing the tune right. Till you
I
get
think
where
you're
you're going.
on.
You try to stay away, so I bet you turn on the radio and the song goes. Why did it just switch
I can
languages?
live without you. I can live without you.
It just switched. It's like,
What the
and the
heck?
song goes, fairly evident. Do you see that? I was like, I don't remember.
Oh, highway don't know you're alive, but I do. I do. I do. I think it's like that.
Why did that give me whatever? But it gave me
That's
lyrics
wild. I
in
don't
multiple
know.
languages. Um,
Yeah, I remember loving this song in college, like being on like this. Remember, I used to like burn a CD before we would leave for college, because or like it was before we
mhm.
would have like aux or whatever, and
Yeah.
or I remember this being on aux and just like being so excited by this and like putting this on repeat, and it like made sense because like I was on the highway listening
For
to Highway
sure.
Don't Care,
For sure.
driving from back from like my 3 hour drive from
Yeah.
PA to NJ. I was like, Highway Don't Care. So.
I think this is a
And
solid middle for me. This one
yeah,
was.
I put this one the same thing as a 2.5 because loved. This is yeah, this is like I love this song. Like I did. It's just I can I like nowadays I listen to it once in a while, but like I can only listen to it. It's not like, oh, I'm on it on repeat. It's like
Yeah.
I like hearing it and I like forgetting about it and then being like, I forgot about this song and then listening to it a
Mm,
couple times and being like, wow, and then forgetting about it again and then
yeah.
like rediscovering it. Otherwise, like I
Makes
can't put it
sense.
on a playlist now because after one or two times, I'm like, nice, and I'll
Okay.
skip
Got
it.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was also a nice reentry back into like T Swift country
It was that we
because we were stepping
never,
away from that at that point with Red.
right. And it's funny too, because then we never step back, at least in features and
Right,
collaborations. We do not step back.
right.
Um,
The next one is like,
this one's another
well,
similar to Best Days of Your Life.
yeah, yeah. So it's
2016, we
like
jumped.
we jump. Wait,
Wait,
what?
but like, oh yeah, no, yeah. To 2016, right? This is what you came for?
Yes. And you jump then, as we just said, in year, but also in genre because she is really so talking before, just before you dive into this, about like who she said no to, who she said yes to. I
Yeah,
think Highway Don't Care, like you said, Tim McGraw, she's not gonna say no to Tim McGraw. That's like the big thing. But I think she does very much try to fit the vibe that she's in or the time period.
agreed.
She wouldn't have done this for anyone else if it wasn't somebody as big as
I
Tim
totally
McGraw
agree.
or Keith
Yep,
Urban or something like that because she was trying to like this was post Red. I don't know when the Red Grammys were. I know we talked about this that she like lost, but this was in the middle of her about to release 1989 where she's totally doing full pop.
right.
So I don't think especially with the next collabs too that we're going to talk about that were both in 2016
Yeah,
where this is Reputation era.
right.
So,
No, I totally agree. I feel like up until Highway Don't Care, she was very much fitting into the popular music. Like her features she was on were very much like the popular music, at least for maybe our age group. I don't want to say that like it was popular for everybody, but like the pop punk, John Mayer was huge, the rap pop song crossovers that were super crazy. I feel like Highway Don't Care was very much like oh, I am obviously going to do this for Tim McGraw.
Right. This
Besides
wasn't
like having like,
charting.
oh, this is very popular right now. I'm going to do a feature on a popular type of music that I'm not in yet, which is what felt like
Right.
the other ones were.
Right.
And then then as we go through, then I feel like the 2016 year was very much a yeah, well, obviously she was pop by then, but like also it seemed like, oh, I will do it for these people in a way because she was kind of hiding. And then because and we'll get to it, I guess, when we get to the Zayn
Yeah.
the I don't want to live for everyone. But then I feel like after that, it's been very much just who she's close to.
Right. Yeah. So this one that we're talking about, this is what you came for.
Everybody
Now,
knows it.
obviously, Calvin Harris, Rihanna,
Rihanna, yeah.
again, she is, and Calvin Harris had mentioned it on the background vocals, but yeah, this is kind of
She
like
wrote
the
it.
rest is your life. Yeah, she wrote it.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily think of this as a collab
No,
because
yeah.
you can't really hear her vocals. I also think she doesn't so much acknowledge this one.
Yeah.
But
She did do a surprise song.
oh, she did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Okay, well, I
She
take that
did.
back. But yeah, so this one was more April 2016. And remember, to your point of like the Reputation era and hiding, we don't know that this is Taylor Swift right away. We
No, we
don't
don't.
know
She
that
wrote it
until
under a pseudonym.
right. So we don't know that until later on. So that's also why like you really don't think of it as one
Mhm.
of her collabs, but technically it counts if we're
Right.
going by the other stuff because her background vocals are on it and she wrote it. Now, of course, this like was the song for clubbing, like whatever you want to call it at the time, partying, going out, but it also does fit like people are like, "Oh, is she gonna do it as like a vault track on Reputation?" I don't think so, because like, why would
No.
she want to even step back into that world of Calvin Harris? Because obviously he's a DJ, so this is like a club
Right.
party song, whatever. So it could fit in that place, but like, so it totally fits. It's like it
Yeah.
fits that vibe, the EDM. That's really a lot of what 2016 was. Like, think like the Chainsmokers were like
Yep, exactly.
blowing up at this time too. Um, and it's a great song. I mean, I loved it with or
Yep.
without Taylor on it. Um, but I've never been an EDM girl. I've never been it's like it would have been one of my favorite EDM songs because it had good lyrics without knowing Taylor Swift is on it. And then it's like, well, that makes sense why of all like those EDM type DJ
Yeah.
songs of Calvin Harris, I would like this one. And I like
Right.
Rihanna. Um,
Yeah.
baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves.
And everybody's
And
watching
it's watching,
her, but she's
but she's
looking at
looking
you.
at you. Ooh, ooh,
Ooh.
you. Ooh, ooh.
I did love EDM and I
Yes,
loved this song. Um, it was incredible. So I just kind of did some digging on all the timelines of things. This came out in April of 2016. They broke up in June of 2016. I just wanted to make sure I knew the timelines. And then all of the snake shit came later that summer,
yeah.
I
Okay.
think.
So
Because
it's
I'm
like
trying to remember,
right.
because like obviously when they first broke up, like the snake stuff wasn't out yet. Like the Kanye tape. When they first broke up, they just broke up.
Yeah, but yes,
But
right.
then
But
when the snake stuff came out, then Calvin Harris got, weird on Twitter.
when did Reputation come out? In 2016 or 2017?
2017.
Okay, because I was like, how did she write the album that quickly? Okay, okay.
Yeah, no, Reputation came out end of 2017, maybe?
Like fall of 20, like
Yeah,
her
yeah, November
typical.
I think is I
Yeah, that
think it
makes
was.
sense.
Um but right. So yeah, that was so weird. But so she ended up acknowledging that she wrote it at some point during 2016, I think, because then he got all pissy.
Yes, he eventually got initially he acknowledged and was like, yeah, she wrote whatever, and then he sent that really shady tweet about her.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember at one point he acknowledged it. I'm sure he acknowledges it again now.
Right.
But Yeah, for me, this is a middle of the road because I think it's a great song and I like it.
Yeah,
Like
this
because it's EDM, I like that's bigger for me. I'm a lyric girly. So but I don't listen to it that much, so I would give this more of like a 3.5-ish. Like I like it and it's good, but for me
Yeah,
personally,
this one I right. I was gonna say I just can't really rank it because again, I don't really associate it
yeah,
with her as much. I mean I do now, but like I don't really associate it with her as a feature
a
on it.
collab.
I
Yes.
do love the song, but I feel like I can't even put it in a like a tier here because I just feel like
I hear you.
it's not. But, you know. Um
And then later that year,
the very end of the year, I just had to look that up too because I had
yeah,
2017, but it was
yeah,
December
December
2016.
9th, it
Yeah.
says, yeah, was I Don't Want to Live Forever for 50 Shades of Grey, obviously
Yeah.
featuring Zayn. So was it either of their songs or is this just for the movie? Or
It's
was this
just for
on
the
Zayn's,
movie.
it wasn't on like Zayn's album?
I don't think so. I think it's just for the
Okay.
movie.
Okay.
Um, this was where well, and I don't know. I think I'd have to dig deeper into the timelines, but this was why I like when I made the comment before about um like there's this and this is what you came for is still kind of in her like well again I guess they were popular types of songs at the time, but I also obviously she was dating Calvin Harris when she did This Is What You Came For, so like you can see why she would support that. um
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you
and
were
then
saying I Don't
but
Want to Live
then
Forever. I was
no,
like,
for the
what?
for this one I Don't Want to Live Forever, was Gigi Hadid dating Zayn Malik?
Oh, that's a good thought. And were they
Because
good
that's why I
friends?
was
And
like,
I
oh,
was,
maybe that's why.
yes, and I feel like she probably also was still in her like, I'm gonna get Harry back. Like I'm collabing with Zayn, like
Oh,
loser.
could be. Well, because I didn't because it's a weird timeline because the This Is What You Came For because it came out after all of the well they could have been a part of it beforehand, but like
Right. She
this was
probably
truly
because
came out while she was like I am not being seen.
wasn't this the second 50 Shades? Yeah, 50 Shades Darker. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it probably was because you already knew the second movie was gonna come out after that first one. Because obviously the books were like that big deal, blah 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 blah. Like you knew. So I'm sure that she had agreed contractually to doing this.
Before the snake.
Right. And
Okay.
since
That's what I
it
was
wasn't
thinking.
her, that's what I'm like, I would, I'm sure we could Google it, but I'm pretty certain because this isn't her project, she can't back out of this.
Right.
And especially because I don't actually like, I remember we went and we saw the first movie together when we were in school. It was like Valentine's Day, and we went and like almost like died. It was like a big snowstorm.
Hmm.
And then I don't really remember the second
I
movie
don't think
coming
I've
out.
watched the rest. Maybe I
I
watched the
did
second one. I don't
I
remember.
did see the second one. I don't know if did a third one come out. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think I was like over like because it was like fun when we were
Yeah.
like younger and like ooh like it's sexy like
And who knows?
ooh
She also could have read them. And then, oh, you want to be on a song? And be like, oh,
right like
yeah,
and she was
duh.
like yeah but
You
also it was
know?
a huge franchise at the time
Right.
so she
And she
was
had done
going
the Hunger Games stuff, like, so she had done movie
right
franchise type things before.
yeah but I think the Gigi Hadid thing's good a good call. I feel
Just
like
makes
they
me
were together
wonder.
at that time. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then also just I think yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this obviously for a time, I think until recently, I would say like
It
three
was
years, 2 years ago, this was her number one song of all time.
literally,
And
yeah.
only recently did either Cruel Summer or Blank Space or Shake It Off, like, but it
Which
was
is so
bigger than all
insane.
the 1989 songs. Like it, which is wild because I don't even like, I actually would give this a top tier and maybe 1.5 instead of like a straight number
Yeah.
one. And the only reason I would give it maybe the half is because when it came out, like I liked it. I liked it, but I didn't listen to it. But then
No.
after Reputation comes out and this fits on that vibe, then
Yeah.
you listen to it and you're like, "Oh my God, this is awesome." And then like I don't know, more of the fanfare of it and then seeing that it's the number one song and like let me listen to this again. I'm like, "Damn, this is I have it on a lot of my playlists even now."
I totally agree with you because I feel like when it first came out, obviously she was in her literally probably least popular time, which is still so funny that this became like that this
Her
but
biggest
obviously
song.
Zayn is huge.
Right. You have two of
But
the biggest fan bases, like
right.
on.
But even that at the time, like
Yeah.
obviously the Swifties were down bad
Yeah.
during this. But I also I agree with you that I think Reputation coming out, like I feel like I could see if you hear I Don't Want to Live Forever, and I don't think we knew This Is What You Came For was her yet, maybe at this point.
Mhm.
I don't really know. But I feel like you're kind of confused by the vibe
Right. You're like, what's
fitting with
this?
her.
Yeah.
Like a
You haven't
sexy
had a
song,
sexy
because I
song
feel
like
like at
this
the time
before.
Wildest Dreams was her sexiest
Yeah, you're so right. This
vibed
is the
song.
first sultry song. It's like, whoa. And
But then
now
I
that we're older
right.
and going back, it's like, I love her sultry
Right.
songs.
And then I feel like once you hear it on Reputation and you get really used to it, obviously, I feel like you go back and it's like, oh, this makes total sense for the time it came out with
100%.
knowing Reputation then,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
dress and all of that. Like,
Right.
it's so good. It's
It
such a
is.
it's such a good song. I do wonder if this will be people. I don't know. Would it be a vault track? I don't know if she would. I mean, Safe and Sound was, and that was a movie song. So I don't know if she would re-record this and put it on Reputation. I
It'll
don't
be
need it to be re-recorded. I'm great. It would be fun
honestly,
probably with Zayn, but like
I'm gonna guess she
he's going
won't
through a
then.
lot.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I would guess unless they've already done it.
Right.
Because like, and
Oh,
also like, how are Gigi and Zayn's? How is their relationship?
that's true. That's true. I mean, I don't know. Don't they share a child?
Well, they share a child, but like, are they in a good place? Like,
I
because I
don't
could see
know.
Taylor Swift being the kind of person to be like, Gigi, if you don't want me to do it, it's out.
I won't do it.
Yeah.
100%.
So I don't know if like, or maybe she doesn't even approach it, like depending on
Right,
what
because
this
it doesn't
vibe
have to
is.
be a vault track. Like we
No,
already
because
have it on
it's
streaming. It's already such a big hit,
well, and because
and
she
we don't know how.
technically didn't release it, like, because I think we were all kind of surprised when she released Safe and Sound and Eyes Open
Right,
because they're not,
but I
is
guess
it,
if she wrote all of it, that makes sense. With this, it's a collab with Zayn, so she'd also have to get probably like a lot of permissions to release it as her song. But I
yeah.
don't. I don't really know. I don't know that
I
world
don't
so
know how
much.
it works because I also don't know if like what, because it's on an like the music is on the album, the 50 Shades Darker or whatever
Right.
album. So is it like who has the rights to it?
Yeah.
Does she already own it? I don't know. It's
I don't
weird
know if she
because,
ever owned it, but
well,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
But also, did you see that she extended her thing for Reputation and for Taylor Swift, meaning like it doesn't have to necessarily come out. Everybody thought like, oh, it has to come out this year,
Mm,
but she's extended that.
yeah.
So we really just have no idea, which I never cared in the first place. I'm like, whatever
Yeah.
happens is what happens. But I do think that that's noteworthy. Like, all right, im that tells us it's gonna be, we're not
We got some
impend.
time.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like we're like about to get an announcement for anything.
No. And
And
at
she
this
just probably
point,
isn't in the place to put out Reputation. Like I said, like I feel like she's gonna just drop it because like she's not doesn't want to do
I agree.
promo for
And
that time of
I
her
feel like
life
now
for so
too,
many
especially
with
like
Kanye.
what?
Oh, I was gonna say, especially with Kanye being nuts again,
Yeah,
like
true.
bringing any attention, like calling them
Yeah, that's a
together.
good point. Yeah, I feel like she honestly, I could see Eras Tour documentary or a whole new album
Agree. If we're
before
getting something
either
next,
now. Yeah.
right? I do hope we get a
Yeah.
documentary. Like, what were all those cameras for? You can't tease us.
No, literally, there's gotta be.
Yeah,
There's gotta
and
be.
I feel like she
That's
want
why
like
people are like, oh, maybe
gotta
she's
wipe
announcing a
away.
documentary tonight because it's 2 years of the Eras
Right.
tour. She's getting a like some sort
Oh,
of
I would
tour
love.
thing. Like maybe she's sending that performance in. Maybe it's a documentary
Especially
announcement.
because, like, I love Miss Americana. I love the first half of Miss Americana where it's just you really see the ins and the outs. Um, and she's changed so much since then. I
Yeah.
just like I'm like, come on,
No, I agree because
I want to see it.
I want to see, and this is I'm going to sound like a crazy person, but like I want, or a crazy fan, but I want to see behind the curtain. I want to
Yeah.
see her being a person.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to
And
see what's been going on since Miss Americana, basically, with her as a person.
yeah, and I wonder. I don't
Because
really care either way. But I wonder if any of that backlash, oh, maybe she would just take it off, like the Vienna stuff or this or that would be on there, or maybe she just wipes it away totally. Like I don't, I wonder if there's going to be any message like there was for Miss
Well,
Americana.
I feel like she'll listen. Maybe we should save this for when there's an actual documentary
That's
that gets
true.
fucking announced. But
That's true. That's true.
but no, I agree. Like I feel like she'll touch on things, but maybe not the backlash side of it. Like because other like normal people that aren't as in the weeds of Taylor Swift fandom wouldn't even know that she got backlash for that.
Right.
Like, but would she talk? I would bet she talks about it because she probably wants to discuss, like, or however she
Oh, I
might
mean
think
that,
she
and
should.
don't forget that Instagram caption.
No,
Let me be clear.
right. But in a documentary, I feel like
Right.
she could address fans in a way that's like, you need to stay out of my business. Like I could see her starting to
Right.
talk about that, but I don't think she'd draw it to like the Vienna connection.
Yeah,
If she
maybe
talks
she'll
about
just
that,
be
I think it would be
positive.
separate. But like I
Right.
feel like this documentary could have like re-record stuff and like all I don't know.
There could be
Whatever.
so
I guess
much.
I
We'll
guess
find
whenever we
out,
find
or
out
we
about it,
won't.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Now, after,
We had a gap.
yes, that takes
Big
us
gap.
2021, and then this is kind of like the folklore section, I feel like folklore
Yeah, I
evermore
agree.
section where she's doing those. So the next one, which is July 2021. I actually particularly remember the day that I listened to this. I was in San Diego and we were in the car with my friend or wherever. And so it's Renegade with Big Red Machine. So it came out we knew there was going to be more, or at least one more because their album was coming out later, but they released this first.
Hmm.
So I um of all of those, like
I would say, should we
there's two
list
big member.
all the 2021 songs?
Yeah, so it's Renegade, Big Red
Big
Machine,
Red Machine, yeah.
Birch, which is that
Big
came out
Red
with the
Machine.
album,
Yep.
and then Gasoline
With
with Haim.
Haim. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So of all those, and I like Renegade a lot. Of all the like, I don't know, I really like the song. I think it's very relatable, and then I think this is one of those ones that we look back on and we're like, oh, she was collabing. So it's like their song and she wrote to it, but it's actually like, no, I totally wrote this together and this is totally about her relationship.
For sure. Well, especially because Big Red Machine is like it's the Dessner and Bon Iver connection, right?
Who's the
That's
national then?
the National is Aaron and his brother.
Aaron's in two bands.
Well, that's the Big Red Machine isn't like a band like I don't even know what you'd call it, like official band. It's almost like they got together
Oh,
to
is it
put
like
this
Phoebe
out.
Bridgers and like you know how
Yeah. Yep.
what was that called?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I forget, but like
I don't
them.
remember. But I think so. Like I think it was sort of like a hey, they collab a lot.
So they made a whole
Let's
album
put
together.
this Big Red Machine together and put this album out. I
Oh,
don't think
okay.
it's like I don't think Big Red Machine is going to have another album. But
Gotcha.
I mean I could be completely wrong about this, but I think that's what the situation was, and it makes so much sense for her to be here in this because obviously folklore, they were both involved in
And
folklore
Evermore. Yeah.
and Evermore. So the songs make so much sense, and her being included in it makes a lot of sense. Renegade is by far my favorite one
Mhm.
of this
By far.
2021 songs. Like, and it's definitely one I still remember and like come back to a lot. I think I listened to Birch and Gasoline once.
Agree. I just listened to Birch again and it's fine. It's good. It's just like Renegade feels almost more like a
A
Taylor
Taylor
Swift
Swift song.
song, and then Birch
Agreed.
feels like more like theirs.
Right.
And yeah, like I listened to Ren like this, like compared to the other collabs that we
Yes.
talked about, other than I Don't Want to Live Forever,
Yeah.
this is the one that I like consistently listen
Listen
to
to.
the most.
I agree.
And yeah, how does it? I literally, it's going on in my head, and I can't say
Is
the lyrics.
it insensitive for me to say, get your shit together so I can love you?
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
is
Yes.
it really your anxiety that stops you from giving me everything? Or do you
Or do you
just
just
not
not
want
want?
to, Joe?
Yeah,
Um,
totally, totally, totally. Really good.
love
I
it.
love it. I would say I'm not giving it a top tier. Like I would give it a solid two though, because I do it's even for all the 2020 ones, this is probably one of my top ones, if not the top one.
Yeah, I
2020 and
think
beyond.
I was gonna say I think this might be besides nostalgia for the older ones. I think
Right.
this might be my favorite collab because
Yeah.
it does feel like a Taylor Swift song. I
It
mean,
does
she's the
feel
only
like
one
it.
singing around, but
Yeah.
like I think this is my favorite one. Just because it's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It's a Taylor Swift song.
And Birch is just like kind of feels like okay, but a little bit less of
And I
it.
agree.
So
I think you're right with you like with the opposite, where it's like Renegade feels like a Taylor Swift song on a Big Red
it
Machine
could have been on
album.
Folklore or Evermore.
Right. And then Birch is the Big Red Machine song. Taylor Swift
Right.
is just
There.
participating. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not
Like it
bad. I
literally feels like maybe it was like, hey, she wrote Renegade, but she had all of her list of Folklore and Evermore already and was like, do you
right.
guys, can
Should we
we
just put it
put it
on
on
there?
there? Yeah. Like literally.
Yeah. So for Renegade, I give two. Birch, honestly, like I don't mean to be mean. I would give it a four,
Hmm.
just because I really, literally don't listen to it. But
Yep.
giving it a five, I wouldn't do because I don't think it's a bad song. I just
Agreed.
don't listen. And same with Gasoline.
Agreed.
Now that's funny because I didn't even know that she was close with the Haim sisters, although I guess she has been for a while.
Yeah.
Um, and then until Evermore, which is I guess around this
Yeah.
time period. But like when Gasoline came out, like I don't even know that I like connected the two.
Mm.
Like oh, I'm sure that I did, or I don't know what it was with them. Like I just didn't realize how close that they were. Like I thought it started with Evermore maybe, or started with this like Gasoline, and then they got close. But I guess that they've been friends for many many years.
Yeah.
And then of course they're in the was it the Bejeweled music video too
I think
with
so.
the Cinderella? I know that they were in it. I just
Yes.
said
Yes. Yes.
Cinderella
Yes.
was
Yep.
Bejeweled.
Bejeweled. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, I just did not know, but like now I know that they have been close for a while. So this makes sense also, as you were saying before, these collabs are with whom she is very, very close to.
Right.
Um, and that their kind of vibe was the vibe of the Folklore Evermore, and she was
Yeah.
just in that. I feel like she was not a psychosis, but she was really just in that world for what felt like so long until she pops back out into Midnights.
You know what's so funny? I feel like I saw this somewhere. I don't know if I screenshotted it. I hope I did. Or maybe I liked it. But I saw someone like basically explaining because some people, um, with TTPD, like they're like, that doesn't sound like Taylor Swift. Like that's not, well, and it's newer fans, obviously,
Okay.
for the most part. Um, but it essentially was like, damn, I don't have it. But it basically was saying that until literally probably until Folklore, her songs were her for sure. And it feels like for Folklore and Evermore and even like Midnights, it was like, what mood was she in writing the album?
Mm-hmm.
Where TTPD went back to, and maybe actually even TTPD too. It's sort of like like the time period was like it wasn't her as a person. Oh, because it's people being like not really realizing that she's like a huge nerd, kind of a dork, like just
Right.
kind of a goofy person. They're like, that's not my Folklore Taylor Swift. And it's like, no, but like her core personality was in her older albums.
Right.
Her later albums are more reflecting the mood she was in writing them.
Yeah.
And
In
I feel
TTPD,
like
you do see her personality in there.
right, exactly. And you see, yeah. So I just saw it recently where people were talking about it that way, and I was like, no, that's so true. But like similar to the Gasoline Haim thing, like that year, like from 2020 to 20, and I guess when she was re-releasing during 2021, like she was so in the woodsy.
Yeah,
mood.
right. Like I loved Folklore and Evermore, and I love that we got two albums from it. But I do remember, like, I guess when Gasoline came out was I don't know when in
The next
2021.
year.
Like
Or I don't know when, but yeah.
it was all 2021. I just don't know when, if it was
Hmm.
before or after or whatever. But like I do remember just being like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this era.
Yeah.
I want something else because I don't. It was like the third collab or whatever it was, and I was like, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I'm out of it.
I agree because and I
I
also
need her to
because I
get
feel
out of
like
the woods.
she and like because again, I guess during, Folklore and Evermore, she was big on saying they weren't about her, like her songs weren't about her, So I feel like it was like, okay, I want a song that like you can tell is about something she's experiencing, even though obviously the more we learn, the more maybe she
Yeah,
is drawing from personal.
of course. Well,
But
she
yeah, like
kind
it
of
felt
did.
like TTPD was the return to I'm going to sing about what happened in my life. I need to write a song about it. I need to get it out, which
Exactly.
she hadn't done for Folklore Evermore. And I mean, Midnight's to a certain extent, yes, but she kind of
Midnight's was a
framed that
bit of
more
a
as like
right,
memory lane,
as
like,
opposed to like, no, this is
no,
half of
I'm
it.
going
Most of
through
it
it.
was right.
Right.
So
Just
this was
interesting.
more honest.
Right.
TTP was a bit more honest in that sense.
Hmm.
Or the most honest of the past four albums,
Yeah.
basically. Um, yeah, so those I would give a four. But then we have 2022.
Yep.
Also, by the way, actually, I guess this makes sense. So The Joker and the Queen, which is Ed Sheeran's song. I was
Yeah.
gonna say feels random. Obviously, they've collabed so much before,
Yeah.
but I guess it makes sense because it's like this just did not feel like
No.
cohesive to what she was doing, but it's probably because they had just
Did
re-recorded
red.
Red. So Ed's
Yeah.
like, "How
Right.
about you join
Exactly.
me?" And she's not gonna say no. Like he's literally collabed with her on so many
Well,
things.
and because this song he already did. Like this was one similar to
Right.
like Bad Blood with Kendrick Lamar or like Karma with Ice Spice. This was
Remix.
him just remixing with her on it. Um I
So this
totally
one's like,
agree with you. This was
how is
totally not.
yeah, I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. Like it
I
was just
and
felt out of
I
nowhere.
This one also just kind of upset me because I thought it was going to be so good. And I
Yeah, yeah.
just listened
I
to it
remember you
once and
really
I was like,
hating
I
it.
don't need to go back. Like, I was like, I'm
Yeah.
good.
I liked it. I remember us talking about this on one of our episodes, and I liked it a little bit more than you, but
Yeah.
and I thought I was gonna like it a lot more. I was like, oh no, I really liked it. But then not that I ever said I'm not gonna go back. I just ended up not going
Not
back. And I'm
doing
like,
it.
huh.
Yeah.
And like after like the initial learning it, I was like, whoa. But so this one's like, how was I to know? That's
Oh,
it.
I was going to say, I can't even tell you what it's like.
Joker and the Queen. Now I do like it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't go back to it. Every time I get my nails done at this I go to the same place. Literally every time I'm like, do they know I'm coming? They put Taylor Swift on, but literally every time the Joker and the Queen is on. Like
That's so confusing.
multiple Taylor Swift songs are on, but it's always the Joker and the
That is
Queen. And
so
so
confusing.
it's so
Someone
bizarre.
likes it.
Somebody likes it. It must still be
Someone
listening
at
to
the nail
Pandora,
salon
and it's
has it
like
in
the
their
Joker and the
playlist.
Queen Pandora.
Yeah.
But it's without fail. I listen for it now. I'm like, where's the Joker and the Queen? But it's other songs that are like some days it
That's
goes then into
so
all
random.
Evermore songs, and some day like it's all different, and then it'll branch out into like another artist, like whatever. But I listen to it more now because it's always on at the nail salon.
That's so
Um,
funny.
but yeah, so I put this slightly above like Gasoline and Birch.
Yeah, I would too.
So I like where I gave those a four. I would give this more of like a 3.5. I like it, maybe 3.5. I just don't really listen to it.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's in the same. It's still a four with Birch and Gasoline for me. And but it makes me mad that that's where it is because I really thought
You were gonna like
I
it
was
more.
so excited because I love Ed Sheeran, so I was like, oh my god, hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Even though I
disappointing.
haven't listened to Ed Sheeran in a while, like I haven't listened to a lot of his new
Like
stuff.
his new stuff, I know. There's a few songs I
I
really
loved
like
him up until like
yeah.
2017. I feel like I listened to every single thing ever.
Yeah, he was like I actually saw him last year after or 2 years ago after we saw Taylor Swift like a month later. We saw
Mm.
him for we at MetLife, really cheap, amazing, great tour. He kind of had his own Eras tour or whatever. Um, and so like I do know some of his newer stuff. I love the song Eyes Closed. about like his friend that died. Really sad. But it's a good song. But yeah, he just like I don't really know, but he's doing really, really well and like selling out and
No, like I'm
has
really
like a
happy
really
for
big
him.
tour. But I also feel like he kind of just like at
I
a
know.
time he was it. And he's
When
still trying to
I
be it and he's not.
Yeah, it's so weird because like when I went to the Red tour, he opened and I remember being more excited to see him
Yeah.
than Taylor Swift because I was like, oh, I've seen her, like I was
Right.
like, oh, I've seen her for the whatever, Fearless and Speak Now. But I was getting so into Ed Sheeran that I'm like, wow, I'm really excited that there's an opener that I know that I'm really excited to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I just feel like I haven't,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean I still love him, but
Me too. Like I
he
still
just
like
doesn't hit the
again, that's why I
same.
was so excited. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna get me back into Ed Sheeran. And then it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. He just doesn't
I
hit
don't
the
know.
same.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, the next one very similar to the others, the Alcott, the National, which came out in 2023. I do like this one better than Birch Gasoline. Um but not by much. And again, it was just another one of like another one of the same. It's like, oh, we've heard this before. Like that's how
Yeah.
I kind of felt. But I did like this one better and I will listen to this maybe not as much as definitely not as much as Renegade. Um,
Yeah.
but when it comes on, if I'm like shuffling Spotify and it's like the star one where it puts like random songs on, it'll come on. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, I'll listen to it. Or if I'm like sleeping on the plane, like it'll be on my like sleep playlist, and I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah. I have to listen to this song again. Like I feel like this was one that sneakily came out
It was a
for me
sneak.
because then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know this song. I don't know this Taylor Swift song. And I had to go find it. Like I didn't listen to it when it first came out, I guess. I must have missed it.
And I feel like we did talk about it. But also it says April 20th, 2023. So wasn't that like after the Eras tour started? So it also felt confusing because it's like, wait, we're out of this era. What's happening?
Yeah, true. And then yeah, definitely after the Eras tour
So it
started.
again, it feels misplaced. So it's
Yeah,
like, what? But I think this is one of those things where it's like, hey, we were on your album, come on our album, even though
for
she's
sure.
out of that. So that's more
For
of like a
sure.
friend favor.
And right, again, because she's still obviously super close to um Aaron
Right, right.
Dessner.
Because
And
they
like
still write
obviously he was
together.
all over the Eras tour.
Yeah,
Um and they probably were writing stuff
totally.
together
For
still for Tortured
Tortured Poets.
Poets. So yeah, definitely.
So this I would give like a 3.5, like same to like the Joker and the Queen, but in a different sense.
I feel like I feel like this could be one that if I listen to it again, I'd be like, wait, whoa, I love this. But I just never gave it the
Yeah,
attention, you
you
know,
would, yeah. I don't think you'd love it like Renegade. It's,
probably not.
sorry, I didn't realize my phone wasn't charging, and I just got a notification that it has like less than 20%. So I'm just plugging it in. La, 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 la,
Yeah,
la.
no, I don't think I'd like it as much as Renegade either because I genuinely like Renegade like it is a Taylor Swift song in her
Yeah,
discography that I would
right.
rank.
This is more similar to Birch, but a little bit a little better, I
Better.
would say.
Yeah, I had to listen to it again, honestly.
Yeah, I can't like really tell you how it goes, but I just know.
Okay.
The
I can't either
outcome.
because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um, okay,
Okay,
this
and then
brings us to the last one.
yeah, the final one, last but not least, most recently, a year ago or a little less than a year ago, right? June 2024
Yeah.
was Gracie Abrams' Us,
Us. I do love that
which I
song.
know like you I like Gracie Abrams, but like you definitely are like real in
Yeah,
it.
I love Gracie Abrams. Um, thanks to Taylor Swift though. Like I didn't know her
Right.
before. And I really do like Us. I do think it's one of the best songs on that album. Um,
Mm.
without I know because Taylor Swift's on it, that obviously helps. But like I genuinely, if she wasn't, I'd still think that was one of the better songs on that album. Um, the bridge is incredible.
Yeah.
And
So
that's that on that one.
I don't know if I think I've listened to more from like when you telling me to listen to more, but I think it's funny. I think I like it more because it's Taylor Swift, but I don't know if it would be one of my favorite. I wouldn't even say it's one of my favorites, but it's like one of the four or five that I put on the album, but I actually skip it the most of the five from her album that I put on the playlist, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, But I do really like, I mean, it's a great song. It's just like, it just, for me, it just depends on my mood that I'm in. Because obviously these are like the sadder songs. So it just has, I just have to be in that mood for it. Um, but it is a great song.
Yeah, and it too, I will say like, and it happens a lot on that album. Like I feel like sometimes that Gracie's songs on that album are a little repetitive, and
Mhm.
this song is for sure repetitive, but it's one of those ones that like it'll come on and I'm like, do I feel like listening to this? But then I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
want the bridge, so I'm gonna. Similar to Out of the Woods, honestly, where I'm kind of like, I don't really the first part of Out of the Woods isn't like my favorite stuff, but then like the last minute and a half when we get the bridge and everything else, like I'm
Right.
really like it's great. Like I feel like that's like how I feel with Us, where I'm like, okay, but once I get there, or even like Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, I feel like the same way. Like where I'm like,
Yeah.
this song ends so good though that I'm going to
Right.
listen
You have
to
to
it because
get
I
to it.
want to get to this, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I would say it's up there, like it's up there as like a song that I obviously go back to frequently, but like a Renegade that I would say like, oh no, I do listen to this
Yeah.
song a lot. It doesn't matter that necessarily that Taylor Swift's on it, but obviously that does help. And you can tell that she's involved, like she was influencing the writing of it for sure
Oh,
because the
yeah,
bridge is
definitely.
crazy.
Yeah, for me, it's like, yeah, it is on my playlist. I try, but I like try to force myself to listen to it. I would give it more of like a 253 in my world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, I don't have anything like negative to say. I just
Yeah.
like it's it's like one of the better ones, like Renegade of this half of the 2020s.
Right.
But I feel like she could do so much more with her collabs. Like, not, and again, nothing against the Gracie Abrams of it all, but it's like the fact that that and like Renegade are the best ones that we're saying, like, oh my God, like, I just feel like in the olden days, maybe it's nostalgia, but I don't
Well,
know.
because I feel like in the old days, she was collabing with popular people
Right,
because she was trying to get her name out there kind of in a way where it's like I'm not in pop punk or the rap pop genre, but oh, they're asking me to do this and I want to be doing more than just country, so I'm
right,
going to say yes. Like I feel like obviously she's in a league of her own now, so she doesn't need to do that.
right,
And I feel
totally.
like now it's like I'm going to oh, Gracie's my friend. We made this song together. Sure, I'll sing on it.
Yeah.
Like you, because obviously you could see the video they put out of them writing it. Like it could have been something where it was just like she had no intention of
No,
being
they were
on
just
it. She was
drums
just
having a
helping her
single.
write it, and then maybe Grace was like, "You want to do it?" And she was like, "Okay,
Right.
you're my friend,
Yeah.
sure."
Which is so fun and I love. But I
Yeah.
like she has other friends that I wish she would collab with, you know?
Me too, but I also feel like now that I'm looking at the people she's collabed with, like like Big Red Machine, The National, Ed Sheeran, I feel like, and even Haim is her friend too, but like I feel like those totally fit because she was recording albums and re-recording albums with them at the time. Haim is her friend, and but it still fit the vibe of those albums at the time. And I feel like Gracie is slightly different from the rest, where like because I think when I think of Gracie, I think of Sabrina Carpenter
Yeah.
and how like God, I'd love for Taylor
Yeah, I
Swift to
know.
do a collab with Sabrina Carpenter. But I understand if I think of Gracie music, Sabrina Carpenter music, Taylor fits more with the
With
Gracie music
Gracie,
than Sabrina
totally.
Carpenter. So like it makes sense that she's on it. Do I want her? Yes, I want her on a Sabrina Carpenter song.
I know that would be so fun.
I know I'm never gonna I don't think I'm gonna get it
Right.
unless like they're like unless it's to a point that they're both so big that it's like, oh screw it, yeah,
Let's
let's
just do
do it.
something for fun. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
If
Like
they still like hang together,
right.
like I think, yeah.
I
Like
don't
if they
know.
still continue to be friends post air, like continuously, like post airs or hanging out, like,
Right. And like I would wonder if because like I feel like I know we're still like confused with the whole Olivia Rodrigo thing, like to know for sure what was there and what wasn't. Like what
hmm,
is there really drama? Is there not? I feel like there's like people make it out to be more than it was. But I could see
all three of them.
oh my God, that'd be sick.
Imagine.
But I kind of understand because I feel like at a certain point there was this very clear kind of like one of the narratives was do not try to like, don't just be Taylor Swift's groupie.
Yes.
Like, don't be Taylor Swift Jr. Branch out on your own. And I almost feel like maybe Sabrina Carpenter got the same, like, is in the same, like,
Well,
maybe Taylor even was like, hey, I'm not.
I think the reason like Sabrina is fine with being associated, whatever it was, because Olivia was literally a Swiftie as she like
Yes.
as she was gaining fame. And Sabrina Carpenter, it's like she put out herself once she was already on the Eras tour, how big of a Swiftie she was. That's different. Like, and she
Oh no,
already
I
had
totally agree. And I'm
her
just saying,
rise
like,
to fame.
from the standpoint of would we ever see a Sabrina collab? Now I feel like it's almost like you made it. You don't need me. You know,
Right,
like you
but
don't
like
need
it
me to
would be
do
for
it, but
fun.
maybe it would be for fun now. But I feel like before Sabrina might have fallen into the same characterization of Olivia,
Yeah.
where if someone was like, should you get Taylor to collab? You probably shouldn't if
Yeah,
you're
yeah, I
trying
see
to
what
do
you're
your
saying.
own thing. Like, I
Right.
feel like, but I feel like Gracie Abrams was still small enough that like it might not feel the
Yeah.
same to do it with her.
Right.
And because I actually like, I do
Well,
think they're
because Sabrina
genuinely
was
more
on the up and up.
friends. Well, yeah, but I like they seem to be like. I know Sabrina and Taylor Swift are friends, but is it also
I think it's because of the Eras tour they became friends. Like she brought her
right?
in and then they
Right.
got close. Where like I don't know
I think
what
she
it
was
is with
friends with
Gracie,
Gracie.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but who
Yeah.
knows? No, but I totally agree. I know what you mean. And also, like I said, because Gracie's sort of at this point and like she's famous, whatever, and it's not necessarily Taylor Swift boosting her. I think it was just for fun. Where Sabrina was already gonna blow up, and they knew that after like Espresso. So it's
Yeah.
like you don't need Taylor, so you don't want people saying it's because of Taylor.
Right.
Like you're gonna get
Exactly.
that. Like so
Like
that makes sense.
now, yeah, now it's almost like my collab wishes for Taylor Swift are more to like squash beef and like settle things than it would be for
Yeah,
anything else. Like I do want an Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift collaboration.
that would be so
Just so
fun.
people can shut the fuck up. Like
Yeah.
I don't like Charlie XCX necessarily, but I want to see a collaboration with her too. So people
Oh,
shut
I
the fuck
don't.
up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I just
I don't
don't
because I don't like her music,
or
so
like
I just
beyond
am
well, I
like,
mean, I
ugh.
don't like it either, but like or like a Beyonce thing or something.
Yeah.
Like I want to see collabs that will just make people shut up.
Yeah.
Ariana, get it people like
Oh,
get the fandoms to
okay. I
stop.
would love Ariana and Taylor Swift. That would be
Me
so
too.
fun. I would love. I can't I know what you mean about the squashing the beef. Like I agree to a certain extent, but like I would rather not see a Charlie XCX one or
Well,
even
yeah, and I only
I don't know how
used
I
her
feel about
because I was thinking
Beyonce.
of the fandom
Yeah, totally.
stuff,
But like yeah,
but
Ariana Grande, even though I don't think they have much beef, but
they
people
don't. But
like create
that's
it. I
right,
would
and that's I
love an
think more
Ariana Grande and
so.
Taylor Swift. I
I
think
would
that would
die.
be beautiful, gorgeous,
Totally agree.
stunning.
Like, oh my God. And I want a collaboration of all the pop girlies. I want Taylor Swift, Chappell Roan, Ariana Grande, Olivia Rodrigo,
Sabrina.
Sabrina. I want like when Disney Channel used to do
Yeah.
every star has to they
Like
sing a song for
Miley.
whatever
Yeah.
charity they're doing at the time. I want
Love.
that.
I would
I
love
want to
it.
pop girl that.
I don't need I actually like Selena Gomez's new song, The Call Me When You Break Up. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
it's
me too. I
cute.
like that too.
With Gracie Abrams. Love it. But it is very funny that they're besties, but have never collabed. And like, I do wonder, like I feel like Selena totally would want that. And like, I wonder if Taylor's like, no,
It's
no.
yeah, it's weird because then like because Selena was in the Bad Blood music video, but like everybody was in the Bad Blood music video. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. And I'm
I
like,
I
that's
feel like
fine.
it kind of I guess maybe more so now I could end up seeing it, but I feel like before it's like their friendship.
Was not business.
Right. And it was like, we cannot mix this.
Maybe that's what it
We will
was.
not mix because we're both really popular and successful. Like, we
Right.
are not going to mix our friendship with our
And maybe
work.
they have that agreement. That would
And they
make more
probably, I would
sense.
guess maybe that's what it was at the time. I don't know if that could change now that like they kind of are completely like on their, like, Selena was not doing music for so long that like is that different now? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, she did collab with
I'm
Gracie,
okay
so
without one though.
maybe Taylor sent her Gracie.
Literally, here's my junior.
Yeah.
You,
And
you
Selena
know.
did say, she's like, yeah, I showed Taylor the album and she like loved it, and that's a big compliment because she's always honest or something like that. But like Taylor Swift also promoted Single Soon, which was not a good song. So it's
Oh,
like,
I kind of liked that song.
oh really?
I thought it was fun.
I just thought it was so like 2012. Like I just
Oh,
thought it
for
was so
sure. It was still
outdated.
very much the sound of when she was releasing music in 2015 or whatever.
Yeah,
But
like it was
like,
just so, but even prior to that, because like she had some good ones in like 2015, 2016. Like I'm like, this is like almost Disney Channel-y. So
yeah.
I don't know. I was like, ooh, not the song, the fact that Taylor Swift promoted it to me when Selena's like, Taylor said she like loves everything. I'm like, well, I don't really know if I believe that now. And Taylor's always honest. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
but I do like
True.
Call Me When You Break Up. Makes so much sense. Like collab with your producer fiance.
No, I love that one. I do. Yeah,
So,
that's a good song.
so I'm looking
Um,
forward to that album.
yeah, no, I did you say you are looking forward to it?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. Um, I would love to see her collaborate with Harry Styles.
Okay, yeah. Totally.
But
Totally.
if we didn't
That
get
would
it
be
during
disgusting.
1989 Taylor's version, I don't know if we'll ever get it.
Oh my
But
God, that would be like wild and crazy.
I'm trying to think of who else.
I know,
Like,
there honestly the Ariana Grande one was a good call. I would be so pumped for that.
well,
And I
also
can hear
because
it.
I do too, and like I also because I feel like more so than like because I said Charlie XCX because of how annoying Twitter is about them. But like I feel like Ariana Grande is like the fandoms are weird about them,
Mm-hmm.
pitting them against each other. There's never really been evidence of them being against each other, besides
That
Ariana
Scooter Braun
being the
thing.
Scooter Braun
But that was
person.
her manager, which she is parted
Right.
from.
So like part of me is like that would squash beef, but also be like an iconic pop
Yeah.
collaboration
They would
that
just have
I'd
to
love
make it
to see.
really good. Like that's the thing when people do these collaborations that are like highly sought after. A lot of times I'm like, damn, like so many people wanted this and that's what you gave us. Like
Right.
you have a lot more pressure to make it perfect.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but
It also is just so interesting because I feel like I feel like if Taylor Swift is part of a collaboration these days, besides with people maybe that are her very close friends, you'd think she would want to have control of because sometimes people are like, hey, I wrote this. I want you to sing this verse, right? And you like hear it and it's like, yeah, I might, I'll do it. Like, I
right.
feel like Taylor Swift would not want to be brought into a finished song
Right. She
to
would want to collab
collaborate
with
on.
the
She'd want to
person.
be like the Gracie thing could have just been, hey, I'll help you write this. Like, oh my God, we're just writing
Right.
a song. How fun. Oh, okay, sure, I'll sing on it. Like, I feel like it would have to be something where it's like, no, I want to write.
Or they literally call up each other and like, or one
Let's
of them
do
is like,
it.
let's write a song together.
Right.
I
Which is
think
maybe
this would be
why
great.
we don't see a ton because I feel like the only people maybe she says yes to in terms of like, hey, I have the song, like you can like tweak your verse or
Yeah,
tweak
but
your
she
whatever.
wants
It's like
the
just
creative
her
control.
friends that she'll agree to that too, almost.
Right.
Where
But
now,
or I think most of the friends, maybe other than like she has written her own thing. Like, because when Ed's on
agreed.
hers, he writes it, you know?
Agreed. Yeah, I
So,
do. I agree. I think she's back
but
in
yeah,
the
that's a
day,
good
she
point.
probably was just taking things and they were maybe she had
Totally.
some influence, but maybe not a ton. I feel like now she definitely has influence over whatever she's involved in, which might be why she's not involved in a lot of bigger
Right. And why
collabs
she
because
maybe
it's
says
kind of like,
no.
hey, we're coming to you with a finished song. Mm,
Yeah.
that's not my style. I don't know.
I guess we'll see. And I wonder if she does any in the future, like if it, because a lot of these come out prior to the next album, like the I Don't Want to Live Forever, the whatever, um the other ones that were earlier before Speak Now, and like almost give you a hint at the vibe, even though like that was almost
Mm,
unintentional. I mean, maybe it was
hmm
intentional, I don't know. But like, um, I wonder if we'll see any prior to the next album that give a hint. I wonder if there's any like Travis influence, like there's more like is he I just wonder if there's any more like hip hop like I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just wonder.
Or
But
like I feel like she also it could like is she gonna pop up on Post Malone's next album? Or like
right,
Florence and the Machine or whatever
right.
because
Because
she
they
had them on
yeah,
hers. Like I feel like
totally.
that is also when you kind of see her.
That would be cool if she was on a Post Malone song.
Yeah, I agree.
It would be very cool. I would love.
Me too. Oh,
I would love that.
me
I
too.
would. And I feel like that vibe too would lead into I don't know. I do we'll see what the next vibe is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it'll come and it's fine, but I'm excited for it.
Me too. And the only other thing, I mean, because I don't really feel like talking about her songs on her album
No.
collabs, but I will say it is well, it makes sense that the only album, like there's no features on 1989
Mm-hmm.
besides when she put, Kendrick Lamar
Oh, Bad Blood,
on
yeah.
the remix. And then I also think it's fitting that Speak Now before Taylor's version had no features because obviously she was like, no, I can do this all by
This is
myself.
all right.
Yeah. But those are the only two that don't have anything.
Before Feeler's Taylor's version, she had a collab. Oh, Breathe.
Colby Calais
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is on Breathe. Yeah. Um,
And
and it makes kind of sense too with 1989 because it was like that was her full pop transition.
yeah,
And like,
right.
no, again, I'm going to show you that I'm doing this completely
Mm-hmm. From scratch.
from scratch
Like,
on my own.
yeah,
Like, I don't need a pop princess of today to be on
right.
it to do it with me. Or
Yeah,
maybe she tried and people were like, you're not pop. I'm not doing it. I don't know. Like, but
right.
I
No,
lean
but
towards no. Like, she just decided to do it all on her own. But
yeah. No, I agree.
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, and I'm excited about tonight because I didn't even realize that that was happening.
Yeah. Well,
If she's there, I'm excited. Otherwise,
I
I
mean,
don't care.
and I guess I'll be excited to see whatever the hell this performance there from the Eras tour
Yeah.
is, but
I don't know if
it's
I'm gonna watch
confusing.
it though.
No, no,
I don't
no.
know
I'm gonna
how.
check it
I
out
never
on
know
Twitter
how
the
to
next
watch
day.
these things.
I'm gonna check it out on Twitter and find the hot spots
Yeah,
the next
like
day.
the updates. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, Now in closing, potentially,
Mhm.
I wonder if next month, if we do, unless something big happens that we need to discuss, like a big announcement, do we do because it would be a one April would be a 1 year of Torture Poets. So do we do an actual Torture Poets, but like not our take, more the okay, it's been a year. What's everybody's thoughts? Like, what's the best songs?
Yeah, because we've never
Whatever.
done a survey for tortured poets.
We have not. Yeah, we only talked about our take on it
Right.
basically, and I've
Yeah,
talked about
that
it
sounds
through
good
and
to me.
through. So I feel like it would be the time. We're just gonna have to, it's a busy month, so we're just gonna have to sneak it in.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do it on the earlier side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, so okay, little teaser. We're gonna do tortured poets next
Yeah.
month.
We'll do
Um,
a
so
survey.
be on the lookout for a survey. We'll
Yes.
post it on all of our things. And if you are not on social media and you want a link to the survey, email drop everything now podcast at gmail.com and I will send you the link directly because we have
Yeah.
started doing that for those of you who want surveys but don't have Instagram or Facebook like me
Because you've been
because I got
hacked.
hacked today. Anyway,
It's okay. It's okay, Saf. It's in the past.
it's in the past. It's in the past.
So, are we done?
I think we're done.
Is that it?
We have that.
Okay. So
Love.
I guess
Love this
it's
collab we did. Steph.
wow. Wow. So I guess it's time for you all to pick up your stuff, pick everything up because
We're dropping our mics.
now